Welcome to my instruction video on how to make cathedral windows. These cathedral windows are different to your conventional cathedral window, which traditionally had to have all your points meeting together. Now that's fairly restrictive, and it also means if they're out at all, then that really shows. These cathedral windows can be placed anywhere within a block. They're independent of each other. The template that I've created uses the outside of the template to make your cathedral window frame, which is this yellow piece here, and then the insert obviously cuts the cathedral window glass. So the first thing you do is get a piece of fabric that you want your cathedral window frame to be. Put your template on top and simply cut around it to cut out your frame fabric to that size. You then cut 4 background squares. Now the only proviso is that the background square must be more than a quarter of that size of the template. So it doesn't matter how big it goes, but it can't be any smaller than that. So you cut 4 of those. You fold your frame fabric right sides of the fabric out and place it right sides together with one of the squares so that all your raw edges on that corner meet. Then place another square on top, right sides of the fabric down. You then sew a 1/4 inch seam through here, and the block that you end up with looks like this, so that that folded piece of fabric is enclosed within the seam. You then turn it around, make sure that all your raw edges are along the top, and the next thing you do is put a square of fabric right sides up, line up your folded square, put another piece right side down, and sew a 1/4 inch seam through there. And so at that point, this is what your piece looks like. Okay. The next step is to open out that central square, rotate your seams and butt them up together, and pop a pin to hold that together. Then you stretch out those edges and make sure they're all lined up. Put another pin in to hold it, and then put that under your sewing machine, sew through to that point, leave your needle in the fabric, and then you pull through that square, stretch it out, and then sew your seam the rest of the way through. So that this is how that block looks. So you've sewed down to there, you've left your needle in, and then sewed through the rest of the way. So when you open it up, you have a 3D square. Next step is to press that. But first what you need to do is open up that seam on the back. So you simply pull this apart and open that, and you'll see those seams rotate. And what that does is reduce the amount of bulk that you've got sitting underneath your cathedral window. So once it's pressed out, that's how it looks. So your next step is to make your cathedral window insert, which is the cathedral window glass or pane. So you come back to your template, pop out your little piece. Now you'll notice I've got the fabric that I'm going to use is right sides up, and I've got it on a piece of wadding. The reason for that is I like to have a little bit of filling behind my window glass. So you lay that on there, and then you simply Get your rotary cutter. Now this is a 60mm rotary cutter, and so most of you will have a 45, so you should be able to cut this without any trouble at all. Now just back up a step. You can imagine if this is a fabric that's fussy cut, you can actually move that around to fussy cut the piece. So simply hold that down, cut through, and just rotate. Take your waste away, and there you're left with your insert. So we can then place that in there. Now you can just put a spot of glue or some pins to hold that, and then it's simply a matter of just rolling that edge over and sewing it down by hand or machine. It doesn't have to be a plain piece that you insert. You can put in a quilted piece. You can put in a piece that has another smaller cathedral window. So that's part of the micro range that we have. And you can go as fussy as this. Now you'll see with these ones, because they're hand sewn, you can actually put your hands in underneath. If you turn that edge over and machine stitch it, then you won't be able to put your hands in underneath. There's lots and lots of different things that you can do with this particular cathedral window style. So have a look at my website and it'll show you all the other things that you can do. Thanks for watching.